And just my favorite kind of question is that I'm sure that you get a lot of DMs like this and people ask. So have you got any advice, ideas how to grow your brand on LinkedIn? I don't want to say the word viral because people want to ask about it, but how to build your brand following, etc.
Totally. So first of all, we already touched on this, but like finding a consistent posting schedule, really important, and sticking to it. Because I'll find now that like you'll find that you'll grow relationships with people on LinkedIn as the time goes on, and they will look forward to your post, or they'll know the time that you're supposed to be posting. So that's always very nice to like be consistent with that. Secondly, be organized with the things you want to say. I find it helpful to sort of have 3 content pillars that I kind of work from. That's for me, that's like social media strategy, like personal life, and then like building connections with people. I will like toggle between those, like depending on what I'm posting about. So find like core pillars that you want to like speak about quite often that you can pull from each time. Spend a lot of time commenting on other people's posts too. It's so important.
Without the AI.
Yeah, without AI, oh my God, the AI comments kill me. They kill me. Do it yourself, I think we spend so much time on our phones and we automatically like open up Instagram to start scrolling through. I actively try to do that on LinkedIn instead. Just scroll through the feed a few times a day and leave meaningful comments on people's posts. Like if someone's post really resonates with me, I'm going to leave a comment. Don't bother writing like great post with like a thumbs up. That's getting you nowhere. Like leave something meaningful.
I agree.
And I would also say your hook is really important. That first line of your post, it's the most important part of your whole post, to be honest, because that's people are scrolling through. You've got like a second to hook them in. So if you spend a lot of time writing your post, make sure you spend extra time on that very first sentence. And put a call to action at the end of your post. I have that at the end of every single one of mine. Like I say, hi, I'm Jess. I share social media advice and tips on how to grow your personal brand. If you want more advice, hit that follow button. Because I think people do need a reminder to do that, like we're sucked in, we're reading the post and then we scroll on to the next one. But if someone sees that call to action at the end, I think that makes a huge difference to building up a following.
That's actually, sorry to interrupt, just, but that's a great point because sometimes I feel like with my content, or sometimes when I was posting something, that I was repeating myself. And I thought, okay, I say this again, people are going to be bored and they must know it already. But then I forget that there are so many people who see your content for the first time, then other people that don't read the whole thing, and people who simply forget. So when I hear this, it always reminds me to change my thinking about this, which is very true.
Yeah, and I think like when it comes to repetition, like we notice that so much more than anybody else, right? Like we feel like, oh, I've said that before, I'm repeating myself. But I genuinely couldn't tell you like 3 posts from a creator that I read 2 weeks ago. So nobody is going to feel like that about our own posts either. Like it's just us. And you really do need the repetition to be known for something, like if you want to be considered an expert in that space, you need to constantly talk about that topic at least once or twice a week to become the go-to in that area. So it can be repetitive to ourselves, but it won't be for anybody else. And yeah, I recommend having the exact same hook at the end of every single one of your posts.
Agreed. And sorry, I interrupted you. If there was something else you wanted to share.
Was there anything more about building on LinkedIn? I find it helpful to, at least for me, this is like the method that tends to work. Like I'll always use a photo of myself or from my life because I think that's the most personal. I think that's
I was actually about to mention it too, because I see that in your content that you've got great photos, like from traveling or beautiful colors, which I guess makes sense since you've got a background in photography and traveling kind of mixes really well. I was going to say you must have so many because it's high quality, interesting, catches your attention, which to me just looks really good, and it's a great strategy. I see.
Oh, that's really kind of you. Thank you. I would say that like a good strategy for that for people is to capture, not create. So I think it's so much harder to be like, oh, I need to take photos for LinkedIn this week. Let's go somewhere and take them. Like, I can't be dealing with that. So like, whenever I'm going anywhere, like if I'm out for the day, I will always try and get a picture. And if I don't use it that week, whatever, I've got like a Google Drive and I just
Mm.
upload photos on that. It sounds so like self-absorbed and narcissistic, but like I do, like that's just the easiest way for me to do it is just have a
Mhm.
bank of images of myself in places that I can just pull from and use in the post. But I just think it builds a personal connection with people straight away. You know, we've heard it for years. People buy from people. Like it's a face to face interaction. That's the reason why we have profile pictures in the first place. We want to see the face behind who's
Yeah.
talking. But having said that, like it's not the only strategy. Like I know a lot of LinkedIn creators who will just post text based posts with no image at all and they still find success. So I wouldn't let it hold you back. If you're the kind of person that's like, oh, I hate having my picture taken or I never take pictures, that's absolutely fine. And it comes down to being authentic again. Like, what's authentic
Yeah.
to you? Like, for me, it's authentic to grab pictures while I'm out and about. Maybe that's not the same for everybody. I do think it's easier to grow a following if you are sharing your photos. And then I think it becomes easier to have success with just the text-based posts because people already know you by that point. But it's not impossible. People do it.
Mhm.
So it's all about finding the rhythm that works for you.
I agree, and I like it, and I think it's especially smart, as we discussed before, AI, when in the future it's actually helpful to see the real person behind it, and reminder that there is also life out there
Yeah,
when you see
exactly. There's a
pictures
life
like
to be
this.
lived outside of the computer. Get out there.
I've always really enjoyed traveling as well, but the truth is that I haven't done that as much recently or lately. But when I see pictures like this, it honestly reminds me to do it more as well because it's like I don't want to say hustle culture, but you're trying to do your best, keep posting,
Yeah,
I don't know, improve this and that, but kind of forget to actually take a break and enjoy life. So when I see photos like this, for at least for me, it's a good reminder that go out there and make those experiences as well.
absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And I think I'm kind of the opposite in that, like, I travel a lot and I'm really lucky to be able to do that. But I have this like toxic hustle culture mindset of still doing it whilst I'm traveling. You know, like I am on all the time,
Uh-huh.
which is good because it allows me to have the lifestyle that I lead. And I'm lucky
Yeah.
to be able to travel and work at the same time. But I'm always quite mindful of that, especially on Instagram, because I think I do share a lot of images out and about, and it looks like, oh my God, she's just traveling all the time. She's never working. But the reality is, like, we are glued to laptops most of the time and late at night, and we're just working whenever and wherever we can. And then, but I wouldn't have that any other way, you know, like I love being in a new place and being like, okay, I'm going to go out and experience a new place for breakfast. I'm going to take my laptop and I'm going to work like 4 hours from there. I'm going to come back, work a few more, and then we'll go out in the evening and explore kind of thing. And I think that that's a privilege. And I'm really
Mhm.
lucky to be able to do that. But I equally think so many of us work remote and don't take advantage of that lifestyle, you know, and being out and about, even if that's just getting outside of your house and getting out into the world. You meet
Yeah.
so many people, you have so many experiences that way. And yeah, I'm a real advocate for that. Get out
Mhm.
there.
I'm glad you said that because I think that from social media it may seem like that, oh, she's got beautiful pictures from holidays or somewhere, so she's just enjoying the life,
Yeah.
just lying on a beach or something like that. But you never see the whole picture.